The history of Bloons is wild, and I was going to make a video on it, but apparently they already exist. So we're gonna watch it and see if we learn anything. I skipped the intro.
Full history of the Bloons series, starting all the way back in...
Oh, let's go.
The Bloons series started in 2007 with a game simply called
OG
Bloons. While nowadays, Bloons is known, the series didn't even start with a tower defense game, but instead, this simple puzzle game on Flash.
I cannot tell you how many hours I spent after keyboarding class in school playing this game. This game was my life for probably like 2 weeks.
But there's still a lot of strategizing and thinking to some of the levels. A number of different mechanics are introduced.
And getting scammed by the bounces, I remember that. It was probably me just being really bad as a kid, but I remember just getting scammed by these bouncy walls and the frozen
there's also
balloons.
this balloon that turns you into Pac-Man. So here's something a bit funny. After this one, there are actually 9 different Bloons games.
I thought there was maybe 2 more. Maybe 2. Bloons player pack 1 through 5. Jesus.
And I'm not just talking about the full line of tower defense games and other spin-offs. I mean solely the original Flash game run. The only real difference being some new levels, gimmicks, and graphics.
Battles 2? What?
Later that year, Ninja Kiwi decided to make a spin-off of the original game, Bloons Tower Defense.
Heck, yes.
It was probably made in response to the tower defense genre being really...
This game, I didn't know I still had this memory. This game, I made my own website in middle school, and this was on it, and I've never been able to find it since. What's this game called? I need to play it. It's probably trash, but I need to. It's like a maze building tower defense game. It was sick.
As Adobe Flash Player allows for people in school to be able to play all sorts of small little games.
Is that Run?
Bloons TD.
Time out. You know. All right, that was really fast, actually. We found that surprisingly fast. Didn't like that game anyway.
And there are multiple towers instead of just one dart monkey. By the way, we still have our dart monkey.
Darn right.
But we also have tack shooters, cannons, a ball of ice, and...
I loved the ball of ice. I went back and played this game recently. It's literally just a circle. Just like a blue and white circle.
But I think I'd rather die before calling them the dart tower, tack tower, ice tower, and cannon tower.
That's fair. I respect that. It'll always be a dart monkey to me.
Your goal is to make it past all 50 rounds of Bloons, which is a lot easier said than done.
I don't remember beating that game as a kid. I don't know if I ever got to round 50 or whatever the final round was. I don't know if any of us got there in my friend group. Hard game.
Towers are really weak compared to their later variants. Speaking of variants, there are only 2 upgrades per tower, consisting only of range and power upgrades.
That is also the reason why I can't go back and play them. Like, I go back and just having so few upgrades instead of the new pathing system, I can't do it. I can't do it. The new system is so good.
Except for the Super Monkey, which only has 1 range upgrade. Overall, a good start to the series. And for 2007 standards, it's free and really replayable. BTD 2 was released.
Heck yeah.
Graphically, it's visually identical to the first game, but it introduces new difficulties, maps, towers, and of course, Bloons.
I remember explaining to my mom this game and trying to tell her that there were lead balloons that float down the track. Just absolutely, she was so confused. She didn't believe me. She's like, a lead balloon? Not a thing. I was like, it is. And inside the lead balloons are black balloons. You want to know what's inside those? I just went down the list.
And the new towers are all very unique additions to the series. By that I mean just the boomerang, because the other 2 new towers are actually just placeable glue and spike.
Did anyone else just place a ton of spikes down if you couldn't beat around? You realize you're gonna lose, you just spam spikes. Oh, I was so bad at this game.
BTD 3 was released. It's the same thing, but again. This time there's an actual level select with 8 different levels.
I only remember this map. I don't remember any of the others, but I do vividly remember this one.
Still work like they did in the last 2 games, but there are new upgrades. We've gone from 2 upgrades per monkey to 4.
Let's go.
We have the spike up hole, monkey beacon, and pineapple bombs. Another 2 balloons are added in.
I also think, oh, what a weird pause. I also remember always panicking on leads and having to time pineapples. And when I would get it, I was so accomplished. Heck yeah, suck it leads. And then they would just come like in 2 rounds. I'd have to blow them up again instead of just buying a cannon. Dang. I was real bad.
In this game, the ceramic bloon, and the mother of all bloons, the Moab. Moabs were the first
Moab.
Basically, they're slow but strong, and they contain a lot of bloons.
I do think it's funny thinking back on how hard it was to pop that thing, and now you just cruise right by. I don't even notice round 40 unless I'm playing on easy or I'm playing a boss. Like, it's not. Once you get used to it, you just plow right through.
Here, we got a completely new and original BTD sequel, Bloons TD 4. Now, the first thing you might notice is that the aspect ratio is really out of the ordinary. That's because TD4 was released with mobile play in mind.
This changed my life. I probably have 1,000 to 2,000 hours playing this game on my iPod Touch. I loved it, and it is why I still play Bloons to this game. It's because of BTD4, and I think you had to pay for it. It might have been like my only paid game. Like, I got like an iTunes gift card or whatever it was called, and then I bought it with that $5. Changed my life. That's when I became a gamer.
A certain lane-based gardening series, Bloons stayed available on PC for all of its later installments, and this game introduced a whole slew of new monkeys. In fact,
did you see that? The ice ice monkey, ice tower, is slightly less of just a blue circle now. It has spikes on it. Everything else actually looks like a monkey. Oh, except for the tower.
Also, the Spikopult is no longer its own tower. It's now an upgrade for the Dart Monkey.
Nice!
Guys, this is so sad. I'm going to cry. This is also the first game in the series that includes a leveling system to unlock towers and upgrades. I personally like the implementation, as it makes you try out combinations of monkeys you may not otherwise try, but I can see why some may find it limiting.
I have never found a leveling system in Bloons limiting. Probably because I play a lot, but the leveling up aspect, even through BTD 6, has been my favorite time of playing. That's when I had the most fun. Okay, I changed my mind. Battles 2 was a little limiting at first, but they changed it, probably.
There are also a lot of new Bloons, the most important being the brand new BFB.
Darn right.
This goes alongside the newly redesigned Moab. We also have 2 new game modes to make the game even more replayable. Sandbox mode and Apocalypse. You can really
We love sandbox mode.
Overall, BTD 4 is a really solid game, and a fantastic
What is that? Defense. Just a Spikopult in the middle? There's no way that goes well.
In the form of a DSiWare game that simply went by the name of Bloons Tower Defense. Now, of course, this is a port of Bloons Tower Defense 3. This was arguably, and tower defense games in particular, are really prone to massive frame drops.
True. I never had it on my DS, but on my iPod Touch, I had games where I had just tons of towers and I was getting maybe a frame a second. Like, it would freeze for so long, update 1 frame, and it would just be melting. And I'm pretty sure I put it in the fridge one time while I let it run to try to get to a new high score, like a high round. That's big brain solution right there.
December that same year, we'd get BTD 5.
This was my high school most played game. On my, what was it? iPhone 6S, maybe? Something like that. Oh, this was the game.
Alongside Special Agents.
With the Banana Farmer. Are you a BTD 5 vet? If you didn't have the Banana Farmer Pro, where he would throw the peels on the track and send the balloons back, and then you'd accidentally make a Regrow Farm, so you're like, dang, why do I even have the Pro version? But most of the time it was helpful. That's how you know. That's how you know you played enough.
And the ZOMG. This one's green and black. And you know it's scary because it has a skull on it. The greatest thing about TD5, however, is that it got a lot of updates, and it's still being worked on even after the release of several other new games in the series. Also, Bloon Shipper exists.
Dude, Bloon Shipper was goated. That's how I would beat the ZOMG every time. Is I would pop the outer layer and I'd have 4 Bloon Shippers ready to suck up the BFBs, or however many came out, and they would solo the BFBs, and then my defenses would handle all the mobs that came out of that. And it made it so easy. Update 37, they're coming back. Totally.
Bloons TD battles. The idea is pretty simple. Bloons versus mode. But that idea goes a long way.
I didn't play this game. I have no input. We could probably skip it. We could probably skip it faceless.
Okie dokie.
In March of 2013, a port of BTD4 came to the DSi eShop.
Sick.
It actually is a somewhat working version of the game, but after the first 30 rounds or so, the game's frame rate slows to a halt.
I also only like playing until round 30. That's The first 30 rounds are my favorite, so I would have loved this.
Have this game in this video is because it's a really weird little game, and I really don't want people to forget about this.
It is.
What's even weirder,
It is cool that they did port it over. I'll give them that. That is nice.
In December of 2014, we got yet another BTD5
Bloons Monkey City!
A city called Bloons Monkey City.
Let's go.
You basically build city.
Nice.
And then you play the BTD5 gameplay loop to beat the Bloons. The only really notable thing for this video is that this is the game that introduces the DDT that added bosses, like my man Vortex. Boss killers in June of
My man hates Vortex? Vortex is better than Lich.
Wrong.
Changed my mind.
E6. I actually wouldn't be surprised if this is the best tower defense game to date. The amount of content here is
Simp. BTD6 simp. Just kidding, he's right. BTD6 is goated.
with 62 in-game tracks as of making this video, and practically infinite if you take modding into consideration. New monkeys, balloons,
Alchemist.
bosses, events, upgrades, secrets, and even online play. You could sacrifice a very specific amount of monkeys and get a corrupted version of the true sun god. And to get higher level paragons, it requires you to get a ton of pops with your monkey, and then spend a really high amount of money spamming a ton of the exact same monkey.
All right, I've been saying this on stream for years now, like a year. If they had a copy paste of a monkey, I know it'd be hard to make well, but if they had like a copy paste to where I could just place down 042 dart monkeys and it would cost the right amount, that'd be glorious. Or if you could just copy a bunch of them, just Control C, Control V, I get Control A, copy everything. I'll place it all down. Don't even care. That would be amazing. That's all I want.
My god, these things are good, but the process is really tedious. We also have the brand new BAD. It comes on round 100 to end off Impoppable and Chimps. A new game mode designed for more experienced
We
players.
love chimps.
The multiplayer allows for fun times, and now I hear the siren emote as I sleep.
Always turn all the audio off. I've been doing that since BTD 4. Although it is cool, they put a lot of effort into the sounds. After enough time, it does get annoying. And I always play in public. I don't want to accidentally start blasting popping balloon noises. There are worse sounds I could play, but I don't want to just be like on the bus or something and just be popping away. Especially if there's a glue gunner involved. That makes some funky noises.
The only thing I really want to see from this game is either a BTD5 map pack or a more official modding method through the Steam Workshop.
That would be sweet. I would love to have the Steam Workshop mods.
Currently, modding is done through external means, and I'd rather not have my account banned for suspected cheating. Also, a 4x speed option would be really nice to see. Thank you. It's crazy.
Or, and hear me out on this one, 100 times speed hack. Or not hack, 100 times fast forward. You wouldn't even see the balloons. You'd get like 1 frame per round. I feel like I would always die to camos on round 24 and then leads on 28. You'd have to turn like auto start off and just zip through the rounds. I don't know why I took that suggestion so seriously, but it would be cool. It would be cool.
BTD6 is something special. Also, Quincy
Dang!
exists.
Do you see that? Look at Terror. Oh, there we go. Level 149. This man plays. This man likes balloons. Well done, Terror.
BTD6 is something special. Also, Quincy exists. Yeah, heroes are pretty cool, I guess. They're the main thing to differentiate this game from other entries. You basically put these things down and watch them go. Remember to leave hero volume at 100% to get that classic BTD6.
We love hero audio.
A month later, we got BTD Adventure Time. Okay, so this one's a bit weird. In this game, you use characters from Adventure Time against Bloons.
I actually didn't know that Bloons Adventure Time came out after BTD 6. I completely missed this one.
This game has an actual story mode, and the main gimmick of the game is that you can't place the same tower down twice. Overall, it's alright. Now we've made it to 2021.
It's alright.
Year, but Bloons Pop seems to have largely gone under the radar.
Bloons
This is a
Pop.
mobile game and
Bloons Pop. Dude, I played the heck out of this game. Mostly because the shorts were popping off. But let me see. I haven't opened it in a long time. I want to see what round I got to. Because I wanted to get to 1,000. I know I have an update.
your goal is to pop all the on-screen Bloons, but the thing that separates this one from the old school Bloons games is that you can actually use the BTD monkeys, like the Boomerang, Cannon, and even Quincy. Something important I want to point out is that this
The heroes were so good. So good. Especially Churchill. One of my most viewed shorts is Churchill going ham in Bloons Pop, which is pretty funny. All right. It updated. Never mind, I have another update.
game chooses not to go for the match 3 genre, which is something I highly appreciate, as originality is something I'm a big fan of. However, I still don't really care for this game. And of course, BTD battles 2. So this is like BTD Battles, but again. This one now uses the BTD 6 assets instead of BTD 5, which means the game looks a lot more modern. The heroes make their way here too, but the game is largely the same as the last one.
Time out. I was not focused. It's been a long time. This is a hectic screen. Look at that. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there's no way it focuses. Round 1003. Should we see if we can beat it? All right, let me get a screen recording quick.
Of course, lastly, we have BTD Battles 2. So this is like BTD Battles, but again. The heroes make their way here too.
I will say, the animations of Battles 2, sick. They probably spent way too much time on them. Especially the Spike Factory, throwing down spikes with a little twirl. S-tier animation.
But the game is largely the same as the last one. The fundamentals have all stayed the same, like the way income works. The only real difference is that Battles 2 is newer, therefore, more updates. The Bloons series is one that's only gotten better with time, and the
Battles 2. Battles 2, better than Battles 1. Changed my mind.
The fact that Ninja Kiwi is still working hard to keep the older games up to date is excellent. Most studios leave their game dead in the water after a few years and get...
Remember Halo Infinite? I had such high hopes. Remember Halo 5? Remember Halo 4? Actually, that one was alright. Halo has let me down. I can't believe he showed that.
Sometimes the game even ends up dead on arrival, but the Bloons series always stays modern. Overall, I like Monkey Game. Very nice.
We love Monkey Game. Oh, hey, it's me. I like how it's recommending my own videos. What a banger. But there we go. The history of Bloons in 13 minutes and 15 seconds. Banger of a video, Terror. Honestly, probably better than I could have done.